Hello, sorry if it feels like it's been forever. So, you might be wondering, why did it take so long? Well, today is the day. Today is the day we are finally moving forward. This will wrap up for the 2-week rest. So, let's begin with part 1. An upper class emerged in South Carolina and Virginia, with wealth based on large plantations operated by slave labor.
A unique class system operated in upstate New York, where Dutch tenant farmers rented land from very wealthy Dutch proprietors, such as the Van Rensselaer family.
The other colonies were more egalitarian, with Pennsylvania being representative. By the mid-18th century, Pennsylvania was basically a middle-class colony with limited respect for its small upper class. The French and Indian War, from 1754 to 1763, was a watershed event in the political development of the colonies. The influence of the French and Native Americans, the main rivals of the British Crown in the colonies and Canada, was significantly reduced, and the territory of the 13 colonies expanded into New France, both in Canada and Louisiana. The war effort also resulted in greater political integration of the colonies, as reflected in the Albany Congress and symbolized by Benjamin Franklin's call for the colonies to join or die. Franklin was a man of many inventions, one of which was the concept of a United States of America, which emerged after 1765 and would be realized a decade later. Following Britain's acquisition of French territory in North America, King George III issued the Royal Proclamation of 1763 to organize the new North American Empire and protect the Native Americans from colonial expansion into western lands beyond the Appalachian Mountains. In the following years, strains developed in the relations between the colonists and the Crown. The British Parliament passed the Stamp Act of 1765, imposing a tax on the colonies without going through the colonial legislatures. The issue was drawn. Did Parliament have the right to tax Americans who were not represented in it? Crying no taxation without representation, the colonists refused to pay the taxes as tensions escalated in the late 1760s and early 1770s. The Boston Tea Party in 1773 was a direct action by activists in the town of Boston to protest against the new tax on tea. Parliament quickly responded the next year with the Intolerable Acts, stripping Massachusetts of its historic right of self-government and putting it under military rule, which sparked outrage and resistance in all 13 colonies.
Patriot leaders from every colony convened the First Continental Congress to coordinate their resistance to the Intolerable Acts. The Congress called for a boycott of British trade, published a list of rights and grievances, and petitioned the king to rectify those grievances. This appeal to the Crown had no effect, though, and so the Second Continental Congress was convened in 1775 to organize the defense of the colonies against the British Army. Common people became insurgents against the British, even though they were unfamiliar with the ideological rationales being offered. They held very strongly a sense of rights that they felt the British were deliberately violating rights that stressed local autonomy, fair dealing, and government by consent. They were highly sensitive to the issue of tyranny, which they saw manifested by the arrival in Boston of the British Army to punish the Bostonians. This heightened their sense of violated rights, leading to rage and demands for revenge, and they had faith that God was on their side.
And that's it for part 1. If this channel reaches 50 subscribers, I will make part 2. After the 2-week rest, I hope you enjoy. Oh wait. In the end of the 2-week rest, it can get 50 subs. In the end of 2-week rest, I will make it, sorry if it is long, but and sub for more videos.